It's time for him to test our skills. Cypher Admin Ardos. I kinda wish the two bodyguards got their own battle theme, but this song is still amazing, so it doesn't really matter. Alakazam and Swellow, and yes, that Alakazam is the same one that you saw in that scripted fight all the way back at the beginning of the game, so that's pretty awesome. I love how it's been foreshadowed ever since then. But it's not the Shadow Pokemon. The Shadow Pokemon is actually the Swellow. Kind of would have been cool if they given you an Alakazam, because, well, I mean, if they gave you a Kadabra, you wouldn't be able to evolve it. But anyway, that Swellow is a really, really big threat. It has Shadow Break and hits very hard with it. It also is very fast and has Shadow Half. So watch out for that too. Something else to watch out for. That Swellow has Guts. If you're going to be using a status on that Swellow to try and make it easier to catch, make sure it is Sleep. Do not paralyze or burn that Swellow. You will pay the price painfully. That Alakazam really hates Shadow Ball, so I'm going to go for that. I want to get rid of it as soon as possible because even though it's a brutally strong Pokemon, that is the least of my worries when it comes to Ardos. So I'm going to go for Reflect. Let's see what Swellow does. Okay, Swellow likes to use Shadow Sky first, so you usually have one turn of safety before things start getting really insane. Also, Ice Punch, remember, is special in Generation 3, so that's going to hit pretty hard coming from Alakazam. The only reason it didn't hit that hard against Lyra is because Lyra is pretty specially bulky. Reflect is up mainly for Swellow's Shadow Break. That's pretty much the entire reason why I have that set up. Now, I really hope this one-shots. It did in practice, and it did now. That's good. So, Alakazam is down. Its fading animation isn't anywhere near as hilarious as Kadabra's, but oh well. What you got next? Kingdra. This is the one Pokemon of his that I often forget about. It's still pretty scary. It has Hydro Pump, it's kind of fast, and it's going to get damaged by Shadow Sky. But, yeah, you do want to worry about that Kingdra. Don't underestimate it, but the real thing to not underestimate is that Swellow, because that Swellow is actually terrifying. Also, you don't want to underestimate that Swellow... Well, you don't want to overestimate that Swellow's survivability. The reason for that is that it can use Shadow Half at any moment. If it does use Shadow Half, there goes half of its HP, and it's almost certainly going to be going before you and using Shadow Half. So if it does that, and you're aiming a strong attack at it, you might end up knocking it out. Instead, it seems content to just use Shadow Break. Yeah, that was due to the Reflect. If I didn't have that Reflect up, I'd be gone, and Kingdra is still faster than Lyra, and you're probably double targeting like you did in practice, and yeah, you are double targeting, dang it. So, no Sleep for me against that Swellow. So, that's not good. Who do I go with next? Gotta think about this very, very carefully, actually. I think I'm gonna go with Levitate. That was probably a bad idea. That Kingdra is now an enormous threat, and I want to get rid of it. Whoops! I was thinking that I'd quick attack the Swellow, because just in case it uses Shadow Half. But, yeah, that's not going to be doing much. I am an idiot. I should probably get Levitate out of there. Because he is going to send out a Pokemon right after the Kingdra that I do want to be using Fire Blast on. But that was kind of a bad move. I really shouldn't have done that. So, let's just go for... I'm just going to go for Icy Wind. And I'm going to go for Fish Slayer just in hope of resisting the Hydro Pump. Because I want to save Orson for later. Orson has the most HP of my team, so he's my best shot at surviving one of Ardos' latest Shadow Pokemon, and you're still going for Shadow Break. I was kind of hoping you go for Shadow Half. Please don't be aiming for... Okay, good. You weren't aiming for Levitine's slot, which means that I'm probably not going to get double targeted this turn, unless you're... Okay, you missed. That's even better. That is considerably better. Okay, do have to worry about Icy Wind on that Swellow. Icy Wind is actually a fantastic move to be using in this fight, especially against these Pokemon, because, yeah, you kind of want to drop their speed so you can better damage them. I might want to take out the Kingdra quickly, because it does hit very, very, very hard with Hydro Pump. Thankfully there's no rain up, otherwise it would be even scarier. Because it does still have Swift Swim in this generation, a lot of people forget that. It only became really amazing with Swift Swim back in Gen 4, but in Gen 3 it still had that. Right. I think I'm gonna go for Shadow Ball, and I think I'm gonna just go for Crunch on the Kingdra. Although I would like to get rid of that Swellow as quickly as possible. Well, I was about to laugh at me being faster than Swellow, and then I realized, oh right, I used Icy Wind on it. Oh, that's probably not good. Actually, that might mean that Icy Wind can knock it out. That special defense drop might be helpful. Ah, nice survival there, but that's only thanks to that Reflect again. Uh-oh. Oh, please don't hit Dusclops. Please don't hit Dusclops. Thank you. That's not going to trip Rough Skin, though, because that's non-contact. And please don't paralyze me. Of course you paralyze me. I should never say that. Oh, right, I went for Shadow Ball on the Kingdra. Probably should have gone for Icy Wind, but it doesn't matter. Kingdra is down. And he's going to send out a Pokemon now that is also quite scary for one particular reason to me. Heracross. This Heracross has Brick Break, so it can get rid of my Reflect and make that Swellow even scarier. Oh, I'm gonna lose Dusclops to the Shadow Sky, aren't I? Yes. No, I'm not. Okay, that was surprising, but I almost would have rather that I did, so that I got a free switch in with Lavertine. Because, yeah, that's probably what I want to go for now. This is really not good, actually. I mean, I could try and Will-O-Wisp the Heracross, but I really just want to take it out instantly. I wonder if I should go for the heal. I feel like I should more go for the heal on Dusclops than on Fish Slayer. I do know this is most likely going to be my last turn of having Reflect up, so that's actually very, very bad for Fish Slayer against that Swellow. When I practiced this, I went for Ice Beam on the Swellow, but now that I know that it has Shadow Half and that it could potentially use it while I'm going for Ice Beam, I'm not going to do that. I could go for Water Pulse, but I'm going to get taken out by the... Yes, I bought way more Ultra Balls. I'm definitely going to get taken out by Brick Break this turn, so this is almost certainly not going to catch, but I really hope it does. Because would you believe that Swellow is only the least of his threats when it comes to Shadow Pokemon? Well, actually, it's probably the second biggest of his threats, but anyway, one. Yeah, I thought as much. Well, at least I still have... Of course you would crit, and that ignores my Reflect. This is actually not good. So I need to Fire Blast that Heracross. Okay, yeah, there comes Brick Break. So my Reflect is now gone, but it was going to expire soon anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. But I'm used to Swellow being caught before my Reflect goes down, and that's not what happened here, so I am now worried. Because even though it doesn't have any flying moves for Ricky, it could still potentially do some pretty big damage with Shadow Break. I'm going to destroy that Heracross, though, first up, and then I'm also going to... Because that Heracross also has Guts, by the way. So I don't want to try and Stun Spore it. I don't want to try and Stun Spore the Swellow either. I should probably just False Swipe the Swellow. I had a feeling he'd prioritize setting Shadow Sky back up, but what's that Heracross going to do? Okay, Mega Horn. I was worried that you had Aerial Ace. That is a pretty good miss to get, though. That is a terrible miss to get! I knew that would happen! Ah! What is up with you missing Fire Blast at crucial junctures? Well, at least it's going to hurt the Heracross. But I really could have done with Fire Blast hitting last turn. At least I know that Heracross probably doesn't have Aerial Ace, but I could be wrong. This is a terrible idea, but I might as well try. I can breathe a bit of a sigh of relief if this Swellow is gone. One. No. Swellow. Okay, you're not even going for Shadow Half. I was kind of hoping you would. Oh, no! Oh, that's really, really awful. I think I'm screwed now. I think I've lost this fight. I don't see any way I can win this. Double edge. But I needed either Lyra or Leviatine to stay around for that Heracross. Why did I have to miss that Fire Blast earlier? It's like earlier in the game I never missed with that, but now that I actually need it to hit... Yeah. This is a really, really dire situation, and I really don't see how I'm getting out of it. Because he still has 2 Shadow Pokemon left, and one of them is the most scary of them all. This is still a bad idea, but I'm going for it. One, 2, 3. Well, I'm still in a very bad place, but at least Swellow is down. Electabuzz is his second Shadow Pokemon, and this is probably the least threatening of his. It does still have Shadow Half, and it can do a kind of threatening combo with his last Shadow Pokemon, but it's not the worst thing that he has. There's far worse. For now, though, I probably just want that Heracross gone. I'm going to return the Heracross and go for a Hyper Potion on Orson. I could start breaking up my revives, speaking of break. Oh no, that Heracross is faster, isn't it? Oh, he's going for Mega Horn. He might not be aiming at Orson. Well, he wasn't. But I definitely have to break out my revives now. Okay, that's down, but we're in major, major, major trouble. Because Snorlax is his final Shadow Pokemon, and this thing is terrifying for one of its Shadow moves. It only has 2 Shadow moves, but one of them is Shadow End. Very aptly named. Shadow End only has 60% accuracy, but it has 120 base power. And it's always super effective against non-Shadow Pokemon. Not only that, but the Electabuzz actually has Shadow Mist, which sharply lowers your evasion. Normally, this is a terrible move, but in this situation, it's actually going to be buffing the accuracy of Shadow End up to levels where it's actually reliable. So, that's really terrifying. Where is that max revive? I only have 1 max revive. I have to choose very wisely here. I should probably go with my main defensive Pokemon. The one downside of Shadow End is that it, well, apart from the bad accuracy, is that it actually cuts your HP in half after you've used it. It is the only Shadow move in this game with recoil, but thankfully the recoil is percentage-based, so you can never knock yourself out with it, which is great. But it's still terrifying to be on the receiving end of, especially coming from a Snorlax. Yep, here it comes, Shadow End. I do know that Orson is one of my few team members that can actually survive that from full HP, but he can survive that from full health. Okay, no more Shadow Sky. I think the Electabuzz also has Shadow Sky. Also, yeah, that Snorlax has leftovers, so... Ugh. This is actually really, really bad. I'm stuck with just regular revives now. And who do I bring back? I mean, I kind of want to bring back Ricky just for some paralysis, but he's probably going to instantly go down again. Unless that Electabuzz wants to try and spam Shadow Half, which I'd be very grateful for. Nope, still going for Shadow Mist. That means there's no chance of Shadow End potentially missing Ricky. Really, at this point, I just have to hope that Skahar can survive Shadow End, or Shadow End misses someone. Well, it didn't miss someone. I can't survive Shadow End. That is extremely awful. I mean, I can keep trying to drag this out, but... half HP Orson can't survive Shadow End. I mean, every time it uses Shadow End, it's getting easier and easier to catch. And thankfully that Electabuzz isn't really doing much. Sharply lowered evasiveness, though. I wonder if that does... no, it wouldn't put Shadow End at full 100% accuracy. It'd probably put it at around the 85% mark. If they could get exactly what effect... no miss. What effect that... I mean, that was totally unnecessary, but oh well. I do have a possible out here, though. I know that Orson can survive one Shadow End from full health. But if I do bank on that, I'm banking on Electabuzz using Shadow Mist, which it probably won't. It'll probably either use Shadow Break, or it'll use Shadow Half, and either way I'm dead to Shadow End. So, really though, like, I pretty much lost this no matter what, so might as well at least try. Well, this is the one circumstance that gets me to survive, but it's not really doing much for my situation, because I'm still stuck with only one usable turn to use healing items. There's no way this is missing anymore, though. Oh, I just barely survived that from full health. And Shadow Sky is still up. Now, I don't want to speak too soon, but actually, Shadow Sky isn't up anymore. Oh, now that I'm just low in health, though, that Electabuzz is almost certainly going to go for Shadow Break. Last act of Defiance, I guess. I just have to hope the Electabuzz goes for a non-Shadow move. Well, I just have to hope that it goes for a non-attacking move. One, two, three. It's a nice get, but it's probably not going to matter. No, you actually went for Shadow Mist. You're an idiot. Okay, now you are going for Shadow Half, finally. And I'm glad for that, because that helps weaken you. I mean, at this point, I really could try and just heal spam, because if he spams Shadow Half, he's going to get closer and closer to being caught, but I feel like that's a bit cheap. I feel like I have to do this. I have to bank on this Ultra Ball working, although, nah, it's still not been enough turns to the point where Tire Balls are better than Ultra Balls. It probably hasn't. I haven't been counting the number of turns, but it probably hasn't. You need 30 or 40 turns before it becomes a significant increase. One. Nope. Oh! I am stupid! I forgot about the recharge turn! Come to think of it, that was actually how I won this fight in practice. I healed on his recharge turn from Shadow Half. One, two, three. I feel like I didn't deserve to win that, but somehow I did. And I still hear DC Douglas voicing him in my head. So that's 3 Shadow Pokemon caught from that fight.